Hey friends, Matt here, Holub Project. I'm going to hit you with a real quick video here about steam vents, why they're needed, and how we can create one. And we'll use this 69 GMC behind me. So, steam vents are a part of the LS engine family. And what they are is they're a crossover from one cylinder head to the next. And then they'll come out here and bleed out. A lot of times for the factory, they're routed right back to the radiator. In my case, we're going to use a slightly different approach, but same effectiveness. Why is that little guy even there? Well, the answer is simply because the heads are now the highest part of the engine. We're all used to the intake manifold being up here with the thermostat sticking up like so. Well, they've moved the thermostat down this way. The coolant still flows the same. Comes in here, goes in, goes around through the block, through the heads, comes out of the top of the water neck, into the radiator and across, just like your conventional. So, what we're tasked with today is we're going to make ourselves a little place for the air pocket to come out. It's basically air pocket, you know, steam, air pocket, same difference. So let's take a look at what we got. We've got ourselves a Gates hose here, 23460. This one happened to come off of a Subaru Impreza. I am running the LS3 water pump, and my water neck on the radiator is in your conventional spot. This is not an LS swap radiator. This is some Chinesium deal here. You know, it's cheap. I bought it and it probably cost me more money to put it together than it was worth. But let's go ahead and we'll take this hose, and you can see that it's, you know, it's within reason. It's pretty close. So what we'll do is we'll just give that thing a karate chop, cut her right in half. Now we're left with this side over here. Put that on like so. And this guy. And now we have a gap to bridge, which is perfect because that's where a pipe nipple comes in. And you can buy yourself, you know, maybe an aluminum tube that fits a little bit better. This is an 1.5 inch hose. This is also an 1.5 inch because they're, you know, of the same hose. They're just cut in half. And this is an 1.25 inch pipe nipple, I believe. And we'll go ahead and we'll drill and tap a hole in here. Oh, look at that. We got her done already. This is drilled and tapped to an 1/8 inch NPT. You need a 21/64 drill bit to do that, and a tap. I'll give you a couple of pointers as we're over here in the bench vise. Tap. Something to tell you guys about tapping. As soon as you feel it start to catch, back it up, come back down again, cut some chips, back it back out. It'll save your life because let me tell you, when you break a tap, there's two things that happen. You instantly get pissed, and then you put your head in your hands and you're like, man, how am I going to get that out of there? So there we go, we're just starting to catch. Back it back up. A couple more turns. Back it up and work it in there like that. There's no need to get all crazy. And then you need a hose barb. This one is this is an 1/8 inch NPT to, what is that? A quarter inch? It's the same. And then you'll need yourself some hose. Got our hose right here. and we'll show you what we're gonna do. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put some Teflon tape around our hose barb fitting. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap it opposite of the threads. So if you think about it, you're gonna turn your fitting in clockwise. So you're gonna wrap your Teflon tape around it backwards. And that way the tail will be here when you're threading this into your pipe. The tail won't peel away that way. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, here we go. Just gonna go ahead and thread our fitting here into the pipe nipple. Takes a little bit to get it started. There we go. Okay, snug her on in. I think it's funny how anodize on aluminum is like 60 Rockwell, so it's pretty hard. The thing about it is that you touch it with steel like I'm doing now, and you can make it look ugly real fast. So I'm trying to be careful. I don't have an aluminum crescent wrench, which would be what you would use in a case like this. And you don't have to get hog wild on it either, because I mean this is aluminum and it'll twist off, but I think as long as we got our Teflon tape here, we should be okay. All right, now we'll go ahead and maybe lubricate the threads with some dish soap or whatever you got. And I know I pointed at the hose and I said threads, but I think you understand. We'll just push this on in here and we'll wiggle it as we go. Okay. Looks really nice. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Little dribble, just like the old hair grease. Little dab will do ya, as they say. Give her a little lubrication and then drive it home. We'll kind of look at it. Give her the old hairy one eye, as I like to call it here. And there we go. We've got it. Now, we can take the highest spot for coolant in the engine, where the air pockets would sit and cause potential hot spots, and we'll just route them right into the radiator fluid. That's what that's there for. That's that only purpose, other than to make your life miserable if you don't put it in. So we'll get ourselves, let's see, 4 hose clamps. Get her buttoned down in there and see what we end up with. Boy, whoever cut that radiator hose from the factory over here is, maybe they need to go on an assessment. Did pretty poor. There should be enough though for hose clamp to go on. All right. Get some hose clamps and we'll move on. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Snuck up on me. You caught me as we're just putting the final hose clamp on, the big hose here. And, you know, I like to use the 5/16 socket when I do hose clamps instead of the flat blade screwdriver. Now my brother up there to the north, he would much rather use a flat blade screwdriver and put it through his thumb. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. Now, all we've got to do is take and put our hose here, and I opted for some rubber AN 3/8 hose. I've really got to come down on it with the hose clamp though to get it to squish right, and I hope that doesn't cause me any problem, but I'm thinking that's gonna look pretty a-okay. What do you guys think out there? Type your comments down below. Really helps with the logarithm, whichever it is. And yeah, we'll do that little ditty right there. So hold tight, I'm gonna hack that off of there and we'll be right back. All right, we're closing in on the final steps here. Slide that over this, slide this over that. Don't know if I'm gonna be happy with my hose choice. This one I'm gonna have to use a flat blade for, because I have a feeling that these little hose clamps, well, they do have a hex head on them, but I'll never be able to get it right the first time on those little hex heads. I believe they're probably 1/4, just by the old eyeball meter. It's squeezed down okay. I get a little iffy sometimes on these things, just because. Hopefully that don't leak. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah, that's pretty sexy. Looks good from any angle. What's it look like from this angle? Yep. I like it. That's show car worthy right there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Maybe it was a little bit of learning about what a steam vent does. Some of the older models had the steam vent that would cross over the back side of the head. It would run up the driver's side and then connect into the front ones and then go ahead and go through. But GM kind of eliminated the rear, probably for cost savings. And I've heard that they don't even drill on the newer models. They don't even drill the rear holes back there. I don't have anything that new, but anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching. I know that was kind of a speedy video, but I mean, there isn't really anything that, I mean, if you wanted to watch me drill a couple of holes and stuff. Oh, I know. Lower radiator hose. That is a stock 67 through 72 V8 small block hose that I just cut. This is a swivel, so I don't know if that plays any part in it. And then you have to use an adapter to go down to a 1.5 inch, because this is a 1 3/4 inch down here. So 1 3/4 inch hose, adapter, swivel, cut. You got to sneak up on it though. But anyway, I think that turned out good. I also think that this is the end of the video. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching, and stay tuned for next Friday on the Hola Project.